Introduction to the Legend of Land Suppression and the Holocaust. www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Come and read more of my works on our website. https://www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Chapter 1. Returning to Xianshan, the Eastern Dragon Vein. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push. This book is a continuation of the new biography of the demon prince Luya. In the above book, it is mentioned that Luya, upon learning that his father Dijun and uncle Tai Yi were harmed by Kunpeng, vowed to avenge him. Therefore, his footsteps traveled throughout the entire wilderness, searching for teachers to enhance his strength. During this period, he experienced a series of adventures and met a group of great figures, such as Queen Mother of the West, Zhen Yuanzi, Jie Jiao Sanshao, Zhan Jiao Tai Yi, and Yuding. Later on, he came to the human race and accompanied the son of Tongren Wang, Fushi, throughout the entire human race, promoting the method of Bagua deduction together. Finally, at the human tribe's heavenly worship ceremony, I finally found my teacher and worshipped his disciples, speaking of which, after the heavenly worship ceremony, Luya followed his teacher, the leader of Lishan's sect, Lin Xia, and others to return to Penglai Immortal Island without mentioning it. Along the way, everyone was talking and laughing, and the atmosphere was filled with joy. Luya and Xuanhe had already known each other and met in the human race. In addition, Luya has now joined the Penglai sect and become Xuanhe's junior brother. Therefore, the two felt each other's unique fate and chatted incessantly without realizing it. Suddenly, Du turned his head and spoke to everyone, "We are about to enter the East China Sea." Upon hearing it, Luya's expression froze for a moment. East China Sea. Let's take a look. The place where I used to meditate was on Huagua Mountain in the East China Sea. I wonder what's happening now. After speaking, Luya scattered his divine consciousness and saw that 100 miles away was the Flower and Fruit Mountain. Suddenly, full of excitement, he quickly bowed to Lin Xia and said, "Teacher, 100 miles away is the Huagua Mountain, where I used to meditate. The scenery is excellent. Why don't we take a break there and enjoy it?" Upon hearing this, Lin Xia turned her head to look at the water unicorn beside her and saw it nodding towards her. "Okay, then let you lead the way in front of me. Adhere strictly to the law." Everyone else was overjoyed when they heard it. "Junior brother Luya, I didn't expect that you were meditating on the shore of the East China Sea back then." "Yes, senior brother Du. I'm really looking forward to it." "Senior brother Du, I have been away for hundreds of years, and I don't know what has changed over there. Through the vicissitudes of life, years have passed without realizing it has been 1,000 years. Uncle Jiulong, junior brother Huacheng, this is another way to express his inner feelings." After speaking, the other few people burst into laughter upon hearing it. Luya saw it and quickly looked towards the Xian River. "Junior brother Luya, you don't know anything about it. Junior brother Huacheng likes to express his inner emotions the most in his daily life. He speaks his life philosophy, but his character is free and easy." Xuanhe approached Lu Yin's ear and explained in a low voice. "Senior brother, the name, Huacheng senior brother, has a great artistic conception. This name was taken by Master Jiulong. It is said that when Master Jiulong saw that junior brother Huacheng was born, there was a phoenix shadow accompanying him and 100 flowers blooming, so he named it Huacheng. Do you know that junior brother Huacheng also has a phoenix seal on his buttocks, which looks extraordinary? Wow, isn't senior brother Huacheng Ruifeng reincarnated? We also speculate like this." After listening, Lu Yin's eyes were full of curiosity and he unconsciously turned around to look at the senior brother of Flower City behind him. I saw her with a pink face and rosy lips, bright eyes and white teeth, and a deep and elegant gaze. At this moment, Luya caught a glimpse of another person from the corner of his eye, who looked very familiar. Upon closer inspection, it was discovered that he was the young man encountered by the Sanmiao tribe back then. When the teacher introduced him, Luya vaguely remembered that he seemed to be a disciple of Master Qingyu. I never expected that this person would be a disciple of Penglai, Luya thought to himself. Xuanha's senior brother, a disciple of Qingyu, senior uncle. Do you mean brother Cangxie? Yes, we have already met before. Yeah, where is it? Upon hearing it, Xuanha was slightly surprised. It was in the Sanmiao tribe. At that time, I went to the Sanmiao tribe with my friend Fushi, and saw various patterns carved everywhere in the tribe. At that time, we thought it was novel. After asking, we found out that it was the result of the promotion by senior brother Cangxie. At that time, I was even surprised that senior brother Cangxie had cultivation and was unexpectedly a disciple of Penglai. Upon hearing this, Xuanha suddenly realized, haha, I see. Brother Cangxie is originally a member of the Sanmiao tribe. I don't know, but many of my disciples in Penglai come from the human race, such as brother Du from the Yoli tribe, sister Yunling from the Yushan tribe, brother Huaqing from the Gaoyang tribe, and I from the Gaoxin tribe. Miss Yunling. Yes, sister Yunling and uncle Yan Zongzi are in a relatively special existence in the Penglai sect, and you will naturally know about them in the future. As the two were speaking, Luya fixed his eyes and saw a towering mountain not far away. Teacher, the area ahead is the flower and fruit mountain. When everyone heard it, they all looked around. See you soon, towering peaks and steep ridges, shrouded in clouds and mist, the mist and mist reflect the sun, and the light sways in the mist. What a mountain of flowers and fruits! Xingkong looked at the steep mountain in the distance and exclaimed in admiration. In just an instant, everyone had flown over Huagua Mountain, overlooking it. Just see it, Jielin faces the East China Sea, with its momentum stabilizing the vast ocean. Fish leap in the tide, and the waves flip over the new waves. I saw it again, with rugged cliffs and peaks, strange rocks and grass, and 100 birds chirping. Suddenly, Luya pointed to the nearby white waterfall road, that is the place of my meditation. When everyone looked for the sound, they saw a waterfall and a flying spring flowing down, which was very spectacular. It's really, a white rainbow rises, and thousands of snow waves fly. The sea breeze blows incessantly, and the river surrounds it in a winding manner. The cold air divides into green peaks, and the residual flow moistens the emerald green. The rippling waterfall is like leaning on a curtain. Flying close, one hears the sound of rumbling and comes rushing towards them. The air is filled with layers of mist, making people feel relaxed and happy. Junior brother Luya, is your place of cultivation here? Xuanha's eyes scanned once, but he couldn't see the existence of Xiang'a cave, and he couldn't help but feel lost. Behind the waterfall. At this moment, only the sound of the water unicorn could be heard. After listening, everyone suddenly realized and spread their divine sense to take a look. As expected, there is a cave behind the waterfall, and in front of the cave is an iron plate stone bridge that spans between the cave and the white waterfall. Looking at the cave again, one can see the white mist shrouding inside. Looking at the scenery inside the cave, one cannot truly see it. Junior brother Luya, what a fairy mansion it is. After speaking in Zen, he cast a look of envy. Teacher, senior uncles, and fellow senior brothers, how about going to Wuji Water Curtain Cave for a chat? Good. Upon hearing this, Xuanha was the first to agree and quickly agreed. Seeing Xuanha like this, Lin Xia had no objection and nodded. Since we have arrived here, we should go to the immortal mansion of Luya for a visit. Everyone was inexplicably excited when they saw the leader say so. I am advanced. As soon as the words fell, without waiting for everyone to react, the figure of Xuanha flew into the white waterfall first and disappeared. I'll go too. Senior brother Huaqing, I am also here. As he spoke, he saw the flower city and Zen consciousness flying into the white waterfall one after another, and suddenly disappeared. Teacher, senior uncles and senior brothers, please. In just an instant, everyone's figure passed through the waterfall without mentioning it. Standing on the bridge, everyone looked up and saw a stone cave emerging from the opposite side. I saw waves of spiritual mist continuously overflowing from the cave entrance, then rising upwards and dissipating within the white waterfall. This place is actually the location of a spiritual pulse. Bai Xian saw it and muttered to himself. Water Curtain Cave. Huagua Mountain is a blessed land, with water curtains, caves, and sky. Originally, on top of the cave door, there were 3 characters engraved. Water Curtain Cave, which looked beautiful and vigorous. On both sides of the cave, there are also stone tablets with the words, Blessed Land of Flower and Fruit Mountain, Water Curtain Cave and Sky, written on them. Junior brother Luya, it is truly an excellent place for meditation. Upon seeing this, Du Yi's face was filled with envy. At this moment, Lin Xia saw it and was secretly shocked. She didn't expect such a place to be on the coast of the East China Sea. Upon quickly dispersing his divine consciousness, he saw the water of the white waterfall here, flowing directly into the East China Sea. Looking at this mountain again, the undulating mountains, surrounded by clear water, and outlined like a real dragon. Upon closer examination, the land of the white waterfall is actually the location of its dragon eye. Originally, this is a place with a dragon vein. Observing the trend of this dragon vein, it should be what my brother said. The 9 forms of the dragon's journey to the west. Lin Xia thought to herself in her heart. On the side of the water, the Qingling saw Lin Xia's expression change and quickly expressed concern. Are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. Just now, I checked the situation here and found out it's a place of dragon veins. Upon hearing it, Shui Qilin's face was slightly startled. He understood, what does the word dragon vein mean for a person who cultivates immortals? The anger of our ancestors and witches collided with Mount Buzhou, causing it to collapse, shattering the spiritual veins of the flood and wilderness, and preventing the growth of dragon veins. In addition, the Lich Wars shattered the vast land and divided it into 4 continents and 4 oceans. From then on, the Honghuang dragon vein has become extinct. I don't want to be here, but there is still a dragon vein in zhaoshuyuan.com. How can I not surprise the 2 of them? In fact, the 2 of them did not know that in the vast land, there were already 9 major dragon veins, with Kunlun Mountain as the center, radiating east, west, north, south, each with 2 veins, and 1 winding around Kunlun Mountain in the middle. Therefore, Kunlun Mountain is known as the master of all mountains and the source of dragon veins. The dragon veins in the wilderness stand clear and turbid from the beginning, and after the judgment of the Hongmeng, they have already formed. This mountain is located on the coast of the East China Sea and is one of the eastern dragon veins. After the collapse of Mount Buzhou, the dragon veins here were completely destroyed. Unexpectedly, after the Lich War, Shu Yuanqing proved to be a chaos saint and opened up 36 heavens. The Great Road brings down immeasurable merit, and reshapes the dragon veins of the vast land, enabling it to be restored. Bai Xian and others thought that this place only had 1 spiritual vein, but little did they know that it was a dragon vein. On the vast land, the spiritual vein is only a branch of the dragon vein, and its spiritual energy cannot be compared to the land of the dragon vein. For cultivators, the place of dragon veins can achieve twice the result with half the effort. At this moment, Lin Xia truly realized that Luya is truly a person with a deep fortune. At this moment, a burst of joy inexplicably surged in Lin Xia's heart. I secretly thought that being able to accept this disciple was also my own good fortune. Brother, you really don't deceive me. With this in mind, a slight smile appeared on his face. Upon seeing it, Shui Qilin looked puzzled and didn't understand why Lin Xia suddenly laughed. Qingling. Ah. Are you okay? Looking at the caring gaze of Shui Qilin, Lin Xia's heart instantly warmed. It's okay, where are they? Lin Xia looked up and found that there were only the 2 of them outside the cave. They have all entered the cave, should we both enter too? Okay. After speaking, the 2 figures also entered the cave. Chapter 2. Dragon Vein 9 Forms, Avoiding Water Treasure Pearl. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, speaking of which, Luya led everyone to Huagua Mountain. Upon seeing it, everyone saw that it was a beautiful and blessed place. Upon closer inspection, Yunxia realized that Huagua Mountain was a rare place of dragon veins. And the water curtain cave, where Lu Yajing was repairing, is actually the place where his dragon eye is located. No wonder the spiritual smoke inside the cave is ethereal, and mist rises. Seeing that everyone had already entered the cave, Yunxia and the others followed in. Upon entering the cave, one could see the spiritual mist permeating the interior, and when they reached out, they couldn't see their fingers. The two quickly dispersed their divine senses and took a look. I saw that the cave was very spacious, with winding paths leading to seclusion, green vines and shadows of pine and bamboo. The stone milk on the top of the cave hangs upside down, and the strange rocks on the walls of the cave are rugged. Upon closer inspection, there was still a trickle of water flowing down the wall, suspected to be strings of pearls hanging upside down. Yunxia understood that this was the result of the condensation of spiritual mist. It's really, upon closer inspection of the mist on the cave cliff, it was like a pearl rolling down a curtain. See again, there is a stone bed inside the cave, with several plum stars scattered by the bed, emitting bursts of plum fragrance. At the bottom of the cave, there is clear spring water flowing along the cave wall, merging with the trickle of the wall at the entrance and pouring down. Junior brother Luya, you're really lucky. Such a blessed land, my place is not as good as mine. Xuanha senior brother, you're ridiculous. Just after leaving for hundreds of years, the scenery inside the cave has undergone significant changes, with vines densely covered in pine, bamboo, and plum blossoms blooming. Upon seeing it, Luya couldn't help but sigh. All of them are caused by the spiritual veins in this place. I believe that this place has abundant spiritual energy and is an excellent place for breeding all things. The Qingyu beside him spoke, and everyone nodded when they heard it. You don't know, this place is a dragon vein, not just a spiritual vein. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone was startled, their eyes fixed on Yunxia, showing an incredulous expression. Dragon vein. Teacher, this place is actually a place of dragon veins. Du looked shocked and blurted out a question. Yes, that's right. After listening, everyone looked at each other. At this moment, Lu pressed down, looking surprised and standing there dumbfounded. Senior sister, this is a cave. Why is it the land of dragon veins? To be precise, this place is the land of the dragon's eye, known as the dragon's eye. The overseas dragon. Upon hearing this, Du and others looked bewildered, clearly hearing this for the first time. Upon hearing this, Bai Xian's eyes were filled with astonishment, outbound dragon. I remember hearing a teacher say back then that outbound dragon is one of the 9 forms of the Honghuang dragon clan. I always thought that this dragon lineage only existed in legends, but it really existed in the world. Master, what are the 9 forces? The 9 directions refer to the trend of the dragon's veins, which can be divided into Huilong, Tinglong, Jianglong, Xinglong, Feilong, Wulong, hidden dragon, outgoing dragon, and leading group dragon. In the vast land, the first 7 are the most distributed, and the last 2 are the most difficult to encounter. As the teacher once said, the momentum of outgoing dragon and leading group dragon needs to be complemented by timing and geography to appear. That is to say, people need great opportunities to meet them. Senior sister, this is really the momentum of outgoing dragon. Yes, everyone can see the shape of this mountain. At this moment, everyone regained their divine consciousness and looked down at the terrain of the mountain. This mountain runs in an east-west direction, stretching thousands of miles from east to west. It is driven by rivers, with 4 lakes as its feet, and its waterfalls as its eyes and streams as its whiskers. Does the entire flower and fruit mountain resemble a dragon head? The mouth of the mountain is its mouth, with pearls rising up. After hearing Lin Xia's words, everyone suddenly realized what was happening. Senior sister, no wonder the spiritual energy of this cave is so abundant. Isn't all the spiritual energy of the dragon veins gathered here? Yes, most of the spiritual energy of this dragon vein converges here. So, it's a good opportunity for nephew Luya. Everyone heard it with envy. Teacher, you don't know something. On the East China Sea, not far from here, there is a fairy island called Xianshan Island. There are Sanshao sisters living on the island. They are all intercepting disciples. When the disciples recognized 3 people as sisters, they asked them to help take care of this place. Intercepting disciples. Yes, the 3 sisters are all good to their disciples. They also swam together at the bottom of the sea, broke into the dragon palace, and met the old dragon king of the East China Sea. Upon hearing this, Lin Xia was secretly shocked and her eyes unconsciously looked at the disciple in front of her. I thought to myself, but I didn't expect that my disciple would still have this experience. Donghai Dragon Palace. Senior sister, have we not yet experienced the underwater world of the East China Sea? Yes, we have always lived on Penglai Island in the East China Sea, but no one has ever visited the bottom of the sea. We don't know how the world under the sea is compared to the vast land. Master Jiulong, the underwater world can only be described as bizarre and colorful. At this moment, Lin Xia's gaze casually glanced at the water Qingling beside her. Among the disciples of Penglai, when it comes to water nature, the water Qingling is the best. If other disciples want to enter the water, they must use the water avoidance technique, and among the 3 generations of disciples of Penglai sect, no one knows this magic. Luya, who taught you the strategy of avoiding water? Teacher, I don't know how to use this technique. Ah, you don't know how to descend to the bottom of the sea. The disciple has a water-repellent pearl in his arms. Avoiding water droplets. Upon hearing this, Lin Xia looked surprised. She knew that for those who were born without understanding the laws of water, if they wanted to go into the water, there were only 2 ways. One was to learn the water avoidance immortal technique, and the other was to have the water avoidance beads. Like a water unicorn, one is born to control the laws of water, and the sea above the world is as flat as the ground. And the water avoidance bead is the treasure of the dragon palace, which is generally difficult for outsiders to obtain. Where did the water avoidance bead of land pressure come from? Thinking of this, Lin Xia's eyes were full of confusion. As far as I know, the water-avoiding pearl is the treasure of the dragon palace. How did you obtain it? To be honest with the teacher, I have obtained my water droplets from here. After speaking, Luya recounted all the paths he had found here to avoid water droplets. I only heard everyone exclaim in amazement, secretly sighing that Luya is really good at luck. Junior brother, let us open our eyes to avoid water droplets. Xingkong looked curious and said to Luya, yes, I'm also curious. What does this water-repellent bead look like? At this moment, listen to the Zen meditation beside you agreeing with the Tao. Senior brother, this. Junior brother, we have only heard of this treasure, but have never seen it before. This time, it can be considered as a long experience for our senior brothers. At this moment, Dewey patted Lu Yin's shoulder and said softly. Luya glanced at the teacher and saw that he also nodded. So, Luya's mind moved and a thumb-sized, sky-blue bead appeared in front of everyone. Upon closer inspection, one can see a flicker of light on the surface of the bead, and a flicker of spiritual light within the bead. This is precisely the power of the law of water. Everyone was amazed when they saw it. Husband, why do water droplets appear here? Lin Xia turned her head to look at Shui Qilin and asked. Upon hearing it, the water Qilin pondered for a moment, but then shook its head in confusion. Perhaps it was someone who deliberately stayed in the wilderness and waited for those who were destined. Aha! Senior sister, can the Penglai Immortal Association be held here in the future? Suddenly, Qifeng suggested to the side. Good idea, find the book garden www.zhaozuiyuan.com. The space here is very spacious and can fully accommodate my disciples from Penglai. At this moment, Qingyu agreed. Other people nodded when they heard it. Master, what is the Penglai Immortal Society? The Penglai Immortal Association is a unique event of our Penglai cult, held every 1,000 years, similar to the Pantao Immortal Association held this time. The participants of this Immortal Association are all members of our Penglai cult. It was advocated by your ancestor back then and has now become a fixed festival of our Penglai cult. Upon hearing this, Lu Ya's heart was filled with excitement and he secretly felt fortunate to have joined the Penglai sect. Next time the Penglai Fairy Festival will be held here. After listening, everyone was overjoyed. Teacher, take a break here and enjoy exploring other places later. Not far away is the beach, where senior uncles and brothers can experience the feeling of stepping on the beach. Stepping on the beach. Junior brother Luya, what does this mean? Do senior brother, it's about letting everyone step barefoot on the beach, enjoy the sea breeze, and experience the feeling of waves touching their feet. That feeling is very wonderful, you can experience it then. Upon hearing this, Duer and others glanced at each other and were already restless. Okay, everyone can freely arrange the next time without being too constrained. As soon as these words were spoken, the disciples were overjoyed. Xuanhe had already pulled down his hand and headed straight towards the cave entrance. Junior brother Luya, let's go. Take us to the beach for a walk first. Yes, that's also true. I will also go. And me too. Watching the disciples go to the beach, Lin Xia spoke to Bai Xian and others, why don't we wait around and take a look? Good. After speaking, the figures of Lin Xia and others disappeared instantly into the cave. Chapter 3. Immortal Mountain Spiritual Embryo, 3-Day Meeting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, speaking of which, Lin Xia and others walked out of the water curtain cave and came to the side of the stream, looking up, see you soon, the peak of the pen stands tall, and the winding stream is cool. The pine trees are verdant, and the cliffs are deep. The vines linger, and the flowers bloom like flowers. The yao grass does not wither, and the peach fruit has a new color. Colorful phoenixes and cranes sing softly in the clouds. Red foxes and elk roam leisurely in the forest. The misty glow sways, and the floating jade is ethereal. The 3 realms Canyuan, the 100 rivers soar the sky. Senior sister, what a fairy mountain. The scenery is not inferior to Penglai scenery. Upon hearing this, Lin Xia looked ahead and spoke, yes, that's right. Look at the mountains full of strange flowers and fruits, the yao grass and vines, they have a unique taste. I just saw that this place is thousands of miles away, but there is no powerful creature present, which is very strange. Upon hearing this, Lin Xia frowned slightly and quickly turned her head to look at Shui Qilin. Isn't Luya saying that there is a 3 Immortals island just above the East China Sea, where there is a disciple named Jia Jiao, named San Shao? Yes, none of the 3 celestial beings have entered the realm of Dala. But in such a place, there are incredibly more powerful creatures, don't you think it strange? After hearing this, Bai Xian and others all nodded. Is it a war of witchcraft, where powerful creatures have all disappeared? I asked my brother this question back then, but he said, in the vast world, there are still some powerful creatures that exist, but they all hide in various places. Don't forget, the vast 4 oceans are not something we can fully explore. Senior sister's words are absolutely right. But here, there are no powerful creatures, perhaps for another reason. They didn't know that the reason why there were no powerful creatures in the territory of Huagua Mountain was all due to the prohibition set by Shu Yuanqing in the past. Its purpose is, on the one hand, to leave Luya with a place for meditation, and on the other hand, it is the spiritual stone. Everyone thinks about it, but they don't get the main idea. As the saying goes, a few people arrived at a Dan cliff and stopped to gaze into the vast East China Sea. Just then, the seagulls flew diagonally at sea, and the waves on the reef and shore flipped through the snow waves. Closing your eyes, you can still feel the boundless sea breeze rushing towards you, making you feel refreshed and happy. It's really, the waves reflect the red sun for thousands of miles, and the blue sea and blue sky are one color. Look over there, isn't it the Xuanhe and his team? Following Qingyu's finger direction, several figures could be seen running back and forth in waves. Upon closer inspection, it turned out that Luya and others were barefoot on the beach, enjoying themselves. Just saw, there were sparkling golden waves and surging snow waves. At this moment, Lin Xia looked around and saw a peach forest at the southeast corner of the white waterfall. Isn't that a peach forest over there? Lin Xia pointed her hand and spoke to everyone. Yes, there is actually a peach forest here. Why don't we go and experience it? Huh, senior brother Jiukong, are you craving again? Last time, you didn't eat enough peaches. That's not true. After speaking, it immediately made everyone burst into laughter. Suddenly, Lin Xia caught a glimpse of a white light in the corner of her eye. Upon closer inspection, one can see that white light emanates from a nearby mountaintop. Oh, what is that? Everyone turned their heads to look at Lin Xia upon hearing it. Following his gaze, he saw a white light shining from the mountaintop over there. Let's go. As soon as the words fell, Lin Xia's figure had disappeared into place. The other few people looked at each other, nodded, and their figures disappeared. In just an instant, everyone arrived at the mountaintop. At this moment, a strange stone stood at the mountaintop, standing out in awe. Upon closer inspection, one can see a faint light emanating from it. Senior sister, was the white light just now emitted by this object? It should be. This thing is so strange, it looks like a stone, not a stone. Why are there so many small holes on top? Upon hearing this, Lin Xia became curious and began to carefully examine it. I saw that the stone was 3 zhang, 6 feet, and 5 inches high, with a circumference of 2 zhang, 4 feet. There are 9 orifices and 8 holes on it, as if arranged according to a certain rule. Upon seeing it, Lin Xia furrowed her brows and began to ponder. Gazing at it again, there seemed to be a trace of spiritual energy, constantly entering and exiting. Suddenly, the sea spirit light suddenly appeared and exclaimed in surprise, 9 palaces and 8 trigrams. Its height is arranged at 365 degrees according to the Zhou Tian, and its body is arranged according to the 24 qi of the political calendar. After speaking, Lin Xia and Shui Qilin exchanged a glance, both of whom felt incredulous. Why does this thing actually exist here? Senior sister, this. Upon hearing this, Bai Xian and others were all curious and quickly gathered around. Be good, there's actually a fairy fetus inside. Bai Xian's divine sense swept away and he exclaimed in surprise. Upon hearing this, everyone was startled and their divine consciousness spread out one after another. They saw an embryo within the stone, shrouded in immortal mist. But it can be seen that this embryo is still very weak. This fetus is conceived by heaven and earth, and the future is not simple. Upon seeing this, Shui Qilin muttered to himself. Yes, this is where the dragon vein is. The essence of the sun and the moon essence. I wonder what this thing will look like in the future. No matter what it looks like, there will definitely be some movement in the future. Senior sister, what does this mean? The natural nurture of heaven and earth is by no means an ordinary thing, so we don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. Senior sister, even with your current cultivation level, you cannot see through it. It's hard to see through, probably only my brother is clear about it. Everyone nodded when they heard the words. At this moment, the figures of Luya and others had appeared on the mountaintop, and 3 women were also seen in the crowd. It was none other than Sanshao sisters. Yunxiao, Qiongxiao, and Bixiao paid their respects to the leader of Lishan's sect and a group of Penglai Taoists. Free of charge. Originally, after Luya left Huagua Mountain, San Shao promised Luya that he would take good care of this place and prevent others from occupying it. Since then, San Shao's sisters will visit Huagua Mountain from time to time. On this day, the three sisters came to Huagua Mountain as usual. Before they arrived, the clouds sensed something unusual, as if someone was already there. Upon quickly dispersing his consciousness, he saw several people frolicking and playing on the beach of Jinbo. The watchman didn't know that San Shao's sisters had given the beach the name Jinbo Beach. I was startled in my heart, thinking that an outsider had come here. I quickly fixed my eyes and saw that Luya's younger brother was also there, greatly surprised. Looking at the other people, it seems like they have met somewhere before. Upon closer examination, it seems that they have met at the Peach Fairy meeting. Penglai disciples. Why is Luya's younger brother with them? It's really strange. Upon hearing this, Qiongxiao and Bixiao were both puzzled and looked at the clouds with a bewildered expression. Sister, what's wrong? Qiongxiao saw this and quickly asked in a low voice. At this moment, Luya's younger brother was playing and frolicking with a group of Penglai disciples on the beach of Jinbo. What? Ah. After listening, both of them looked incredulous. Let's hurry up and go over to see what's going on. After speaking, Yinxiao's heart moved, and the auspicious clouds under his feet were like divine assistants, with a whooshing sound, disappearing in an instant. In just an instant, the three of them arrived above the Golden Wave Beach. Looking down, 7 people were playing happily on the beach of Jinbo. Luya's younger brother is really here, what's going on? Let's go, let's wait. In an instant, the 3 figures appeared on the beach shore, standing from a distance. As soon as the 3 of them appeared, Dui sensed it and quickly reminded the others, be careful, everyone. Someone else may appear. When everyone heard this, they were all shocked. Where? Hear it in the air and look around. At this moment, 3 women were seen not far away, looking towards them. Upon seeing this, Luya's face was filled with excitement and he quickly spoke to his senior brothers, there is a misunderstanding. The 3 of them are my sister, San Shao's sisters. After speaking, Luya's figure had flown towards the sky. Sister San Shao, Sister San Shao. Luya's younger brother. 3 sisters, Luya, you have a gift in this room. How are the 3 sisters? We are all good. Brother Luya, when did you come back? Why didn't you inform us? Sister, it's a long story. This time, my younger brother didn't come back alone, but with a group of senior brothers, as well as a teacher and a group of senior uncles. Teacher. Luya's younger brother has already paid his respects to the teacher. Upon hearing it, Qiongxiao's face was filled with excitement. Yes, I have finally found a teacher at the book garden www.zhaozuiyuan.com. Brother, let me guess, who is your teacher? Okay, Sister Yunxiao, you can guess. I guess it must be the leader of Penglai Lishan sect, isn't it? Upon hearing this, Luya looked surprised and his eyes were filled with disbelief. Sister, you are a divine being. Upon hearing this, Yunxiao was secretly surprised and thought to himself, it was indeed her. Brother Luya, I didn't expect that you were already a disciple of the Penglai sect. Yes, it's also thanks to the guidance of the Chaos Sage to be able to worship the teacher. Upon hearing this, San Shao looked at each other in confusion. So, Luya briefly recounted the process of the end of the heavenly worship ceremony and the departure of the immortals on that day. I see. Luya's younger brother, good luck. Yeah. Brother Luya, you turned out to be the son of Emperor Jun. You kept it from us for a long time, and only my sister knew about it. Qiongxiao deliberately breathed a sigh upon arriving here. Qiongxiao, Sister Bixiao, I didn't deliberately conceal it, did I? Fool, sister teased you. You are now a disciple of Penglai, and we are also happy for you. Thank you very much, sister. After speaking, Lu Yin's eyes were already hazy. 3 sisters, let me introduce my senior brothers. Senior brother, we have all seen it twice before. Ah, twice. Yes, once at the Peach Fairy Festival, and another time at the human tribe's heaven worship ceremony. Upon hearing it, Bixiao answered first. Brother, where are your teachers and uncles? The 3 of us need to go and pay our respects. Lu Ye quickly dispersed his divine sense and saw them on the mountaintop not far away. Chapter 4. Leaving Xianshan and Penglai Xiandao. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push. The last chapter mentioned that Sanshao sisters came to Huagua Mountain to meet Lin Xia and others. The 3 of them were also surprised. Lu Ye's younger brother was able to become a disciple of Penglai, and he felt happy for him in his heart. Because in the world of chaos, the Penglai religion has become the #1 religion, not only because it was created by the Sage of Chaos, but also because the number of followers of this religion is huge and has spread throughout the chaos. Moreover, the behavior of the disciples of this sect is low-key and mysterious. What's even more terrifying is that the cultivation of the disciples of the sect is all unpredictable, and the cultivation of the 3rd-generation disciples is even higher than that of the 2nd-generation disciples of other sects in the wilderness. After the Peach Fairy Festival, Duo Bao personally asked the teacher Tong Tian about the situation of the Penglai sect members. Tong Tian dared not mention it much, but only warned the disciples of the Jijiao sect. In the future, when encountering disciples from Penglai, one must not be impolite and treat them with courtesy. It can be seen that in the eyes of Tong Tian, he is very wary of the power of the Penglai sect. The heavens are like this, and the 2 religions are also like this. After Lin Xia took over as the leader of Penglai's sect from Shu Yuanqing, she strictly restrained the followers under her sect, and except for scattered immortals, other followers could not easily appear in the world. Strict control has been imposed on the number of followers in Penglai, and in principle, it is required that the followers no longer accept new disciples. This time, Lu Ye is being accepted as a disciple, which is a special case. As the saying goes, everyone stayed at Huagua Mountain for a period of time. During this period, Sanshao sisters had more contact with Penglai disciples and had a deeper understanding of them. When I heard that the leader of Lishan's sect and others generally lived on Penglai Island in the East China Sea, the 3 heavens were all amazed. Since Sanqing separated from her family, Sanshao sisters have been living in the East China Sea since the Cut-Off congregation moved to Jinbi Island in the East China Sea. As a 2nd-generation disciple of Jijiao Outer Sect, I have never heard of the existence of Penglai Immortal Island in the East China Sea, and my teacher Tong Tian has never mentioned it. What is even more shocking is that the disciples of Penglai have already known about the Golden Turtle Island, which is known for intercepting teachings, and even the specific location of the Golden Turtle Island is very clear. Lu Yi also told Sanshao sisters about the Penglai Fairy Club, saying that it is unique to Penglai cult. It is held every 1,000 years and will be held in Huagua Mountain next time. Lu Yi also said that this fairyland was only for Penglai believers, and it was not open to outsiders. Only Sanshao sisters envied it. One day, Lin Xia told everyone that it was time to return to Penglai Island. Regarding this, Lu Ye's heart was filled with excitement. From the mouth of Sanshao sisters, we know that Penglai Island is very mysterious. Before that, even they had never heard of it. Senior brother, I am very excited inside. Why? I want to see the beautiful scenery of Penglai Immortal Island. I see. But it cannot be denied that the scenery of Penglai Immortal Island is rare in the world. How is that compared to this place? Each has its own unique strengths and characteristics. After saying goodbye to Sanshao sisters, Louis followed the crowd away from Huagua Mountain and headed for the East China Sea. Soon, everyone had already ascended to the vast sea. See you soon, the waves surge and stretch endlessly. White gulls fly, dragons float and sink. At this moment, Luya Shihai instantly remembered the scene of his first flying over the sea. At that time, I followed Kunpeng and saw the vastness of the sea for the first time, curious and excited. Unexpectedly, hundreds of years later, when flying over the sea again, teachers had already changed around. At this moment, everyone else was talking and laughing, but Luya's expression was dull, as if he had something on his mind. Seeing that Luya's expression was different, Xian He beside him asked with concern, "Junior brother Luya, are you okay?" "Ah. Senior brother, I'm fine." "You're really okay, you're so restless." "Huh, it's really okay. I just lost my mind a moment ago." "That's good." At this moment, Lin Xia turned her head to look at Luya without speaking. In the vast East China Sea, the waves stretched to the sky. The sky is boundless, and the moon cannot round. Huaqing junior brother, that's a good sentence. Junior brother Huaqing is going to output another wave of emotions. Upon hearing this, Huaqing ignored it and continued to speak. The tide stretches for thousands of miles, the waves are uneven. The boundless vastness is finally visible. Upon hearing it, Luya was shocked and savored it carefully, resonating deeply. Unconsciously lifting his eyes, he took a deep look at senior brother Huaqing. "Junior brother Luya, take this opportunity to tell us about what happened to the Dragon Palace when you visited it in the East China Sea." "Yeah, tell us a good story. What does the East Sea Dragon Palace look like? And the underwater scenery of the East China Sea?" This. Upon hearing this, Lu Yin looked at his senior brothers and then at his teacher Lin Xia. It can be heard that the senior brothers are very interested in this. The Dragon Palace has a large scale, with countless palaces of various sizes connected, scattered in a disorderly manner deep in the East China Sea, forming a huge group of crystal palaces. Its grandeur can only be described as magnificent and magnificent. As for the underwater scenery, it takes various senior brothers to personally explore the sea. It can only be said that it is breathtaking to see it. Ah! Everyone looked at each other with curiosity upon hearing it. "Senior sister, do we have time to visit the Dragon King of the East Sea?" Upon hearing this, Baiju's heart pounded and he began to ask Lin Xia. Upon hearing this, the others unconsciously turned their eyes towards Lin Xia, their eyes filled with anticipation. Upon seeing it, Lin Xia glanced at the water unicorn beside her and pondered for a moment, saying, "This matter can be considered." When everyone heard this, they were all overjoyed. As he was speaking, he heard Bai Xian speaking to everyone, "It's coming soon." Upon hearing it, Luya spread his divine sense and saw that there was still a vast sea around him, with no islands present. In the midst of confusion, my mind recalled the same thing when I followed Kunpeng to Baiming Immortal Island. At this moment, I saw Uncle Bai Xian pointing his finger and a white light shooting out from his fingertips. In an instant, a ripple in the water system was seen drifting away. The teacher and Shui Qilin entered first, and in an instant, their figures had disappeared before their eyes. Subsequently, other people also entered one after another. Seeing this, Luya dared not hesitate and followed his figure with a flash, also entering the water ripple. The official is unaware that this water ripple is the gateway to Penglai Immortal Island. Since Shu Yuanqing founded the Penglai sect, with the continuous improvement of his own cultivation and in order to prevent being discovered by other great powers, he has made improvements to the gateway of Xiandao, making it more hidden. After Shu Yuanqing confirmed the Chaos Sage, he further improved the Xiandao gate. Apart from the Penglai followers, even the Honghuang Sage could not enter. Even if San Shao and others come to the East China Sea to search for it, they will never be able to find its trace. As soon as Luya's figure entered, he felt his body was out of control, passing through layers of mist and drifting forward. Suddenly, a white light flashed before my eyes. In just an instant, I arrived at another place. At this moment, the scenery in front of us gradually became clear, and a majestic island came into view. How can we see that? The mountains stand tall, winding and winding like dragons. Ridge cliffs and strange rocks, hanging cliffs and peculiar peaks. See that again, at the peak, I hear the sound of phoenixes, and at the grottos, there are dragons lying down. The mist shrouded in the mountains, and apes appeared in front of the cliff. The immortal deer in the forest are galloping, searching for the book garden www.xiaosuiyuan.com. Spiritual birds fly over the trees. The ravines and vines are dense, with grass-colored scilla on all sides. Looking around, there are countless strange flowers and plants, and there are plenty of red fruits and spiritual materials everywhere. Palaces stand before me one by one, some still hidden in the mountains, with only a corner of their glazed palace eaves visible. I saw the innate spiritual energy permeating the island again, shining brightly under the sunshine with 5 colors. Upon seeing it, Luya was immediately stunned. Senior brother, this place is really... Junior brother Luya, welcome to Penglai Immortal Island. After reading it, Lu Yin followed his senior brothers to the front of the one palace hall. Standing in front of the door, looking around, but see, green pine and lush bamboo set off, with blooming flowers and fragrant yao grass falling. Looking up, the 3 ancient and simple characters, Yunqing Palace, stand out prominently. Just then, the palace was shrouded in clouds and mist, clear and ethereal, with an indescribable beauty. Senior brother, who wrote this character? What do you think of this character? Shizu's question. Strong and free-spirited, flowing like clouds and flowing water. Junior brother is not aware that this palace is arranged according to the layout of one palace and 9 halls. There are also 9 halls inside the palace, which are the Cloud and Mist Hall, Cloud Sky Hall, Cloud Han Hall, Cloud Spirit Hall, Cloud Yang Hall, Cloud Thunder Hall, Cloud Autumn Hall, Cloud Dan Hall, and Cloud Smoke Hall. Each plaque is inscribed by the hand of the ancestor, and there is also the inscription inscribed by the ancestor on the plaque. This is also a place where religious leaders and others usually preach, senior brother, where is the palace complex in the mountains over there. Those are the places where all the senior uncles meditate, as well as other palaces distributed on the island, all of which are places for other religious practitioners to practice. Junior brother, let's go into the hall. I believe the sect leader has something else to say. No. After speaking, several figures entered the palace gate without mentioning them. Chapter 5. Yunqing Palace and Yunxia Treasure Hall. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, as mentioned in the previous chapter, Luya followed his teacher and a group of senior uncles and brothers to Penglai Immortal Island, where he saw the beautiful scenery of thousands of rocks competing in beauty, and it was truly a blessed land. As the saying goes, everyone followed the leader of Lishan's sect and stepped into the gate of Yunqing Palace. At this moment, a 17.8-year-old boy appeared at the front door. With a respectful expression on his face, he bent down to welcome everyone. Senior brothers, please. When the boy saw Luya, his eyes showed a hint of surprise. Penglai boy, this is the newly recruited disciple of the sect leader, Lu Yin. The boy, seeing senior brother Xuanha's words like this, dared not neglect them and quickly bowed respectfully to Luya, saying, Penglai boy, pay respects to senior brother Luya. Junior brother, there's no need for much courtesy. Thank you very much, senior brother. Please come inside. When crossing the palace gate, Louis can see the red walls and carved beams and painted rafters on both sides. Upon closer inspection, rows of inscriptions on the heavenly way are engraved on them, with murals depicting auspicious clouds, auspicious dragons, and flying phoenixes. The auspicious beasts are all lifelike. Passing through the Zhubi, everyone gradually entered the main hall. Luya looked around and saw the grand hall with a huge scale and grandeur. But see, the door hangs palace lamps, and the floor is covered with red carpets. Strange flowers cluster together, and strange grass is fresh. Birds and beasts, carved railings appear. The fruit is rich and fragrant, with a lingering fragrance. At this point, there were 15 cattails standing in 3 rows in the hall. In the first row, above the high platform, there are 2 cattails sitting with the leader of Mount Li and the water Qingling. At this moment, both of them were sitting with their eyes closed. In the second row, there are 6 cattails, and 6 senior uncles including Bai Xian are sitting on them. In the third row, there are 7 cattails arranged in a row, which Lu Yejian saw. It is expected that they were all set up for the 3 generations of disciples of Penglai. As expected, a group of senior brothers had already taken their seats in order. When everyone sat down, they glanced at each other and had a tacit understanding. A space has been cleared next to senior brother Du. Junior brother Luya, take this seat. Upon seeing senior brother Du saying this to him, Luya immediately understood and was not polite. He quickly sat on a cushion without mentioning it. Luya didn't know that there were already 7 Puchuans here, but the disciple of the Red Wind, Yunqing, had been living in the realm of the great Luo heaven for years, so 1 Putuan remained vacant. This time, the leader of the Lishan sect recruited Luya as his disciple, which happened to fill this gap. After a while, Lin Xia opened her eyes and saw that everyone had already sat down before speaking. After the grand ceremony of the human race's worship of heaven, it indicates that the human race is officially led by Fuxi, and the era of the 3 emperors and 5 emperors has begun. We, the Penglai sect members, need to further consolidate and strengthen our influence in the human race. At this point, Lin Xia paused in her tone, glanced at Lu Yin below the stage, and continued speaking. Lu Yazha is the son of Emperor Jun of the Demon Court. He has now joined the Penglai sect and will be a member of our Penglai sect in the future. To overcome adversity, what is the doctrine of our Penglai sect? In response to my teacher's words, the teachings of the Penglai teachings are mutual love, mutual assistance, unity, not deceiving teachers, not betraying, and those who violate them will eliminate their spirits. Luya, do you remember? I have already remembered it in my heart. That's great. My older brother once said, you stay on Penglai Immortal Island for 100 years, and then return to the human tribe to assist Fuxi in managing human affairs until the emperor ascends the throne. After your achievements are completed, you will return to Penglai. During this period, you will temporarily reside in the Komya Palace. Thank you very much, teacher. Dui, Xuanhe, Cangjie, Huacheng, and Zen meditation are all practiced in their own dojo. In the future, when you reach the realm of Dala, you can also practice in your own dojo. I understand. Xuanhe, in the future, let's familiarize ourselves with the environment of this place with junior brother Luya. There are also the Abbot and Ningzhou Island. The water unicorn sitting aside heard it and quickly added. Disciple, please abide by the decree. May I ask the teacher, what are the 3 emperors and 5 emperors? The 3 emperors are the emperor of the earth, and the emperor of the people. The 5 emperors are the white emperor, the Qing emperor, the yellow emperor, the yen emperor, and the black emperor. Upon hearing this, Luya seemed to understand rather than understand, and his eyes were quite confused. Lin Xia saw it, pondered for a moment, and then reminded her, in the future, when returning to the human race, this phrase should not be compared to Fuxi's words. I understand. Okay, what about the others? Is there anything else I need to report? Lin Xia looked around and saw that no one agreed. Since that's the case, let's call it a day and arrange our own affairs freely. Master, we are leaving. Bai Xian stood up first and bowed to Lin Xia, while others gradually left the main hall. Upon leaving the palace, I saw Master Qingyu calling to stop the 2 of them. Xuanhe, during this period, you should take good care of junior brother Luya and familiarize yourself with the environment of the 3 islands. I understand. Thank you very much, Master Qingyu. Go ahead. I'm leaving, disciple. After speaking, Xuanhe pulled the landing pressure and quickly left. Senior brother, where are we going? Yunxia Hall. As soon as the words fell, Luya saw a blue stone monument with 4 pillars and 3 floors in front of him. Senior brother, is this? This is Qingling Steel Square. Luya listened to it and saw that the monument was 9 meters high, covered with green glazed tiles, and under the eaves was a 9-step arch of wooden architecture. See also that there is a book, Penglai Paradise, written on the front of the memorial archway, and a book, Natural Taoism, written on the back, with the inscription Shu Yuan Qing. Surrounding the monument, there is a misty and ethereal spirit, shrouded in mist like an immortal. Senior brother, was this established by our ancestor? Yes, the entire Penglai Island, with this monument, appears particularly precious. I see. Passing through the monument, one can see a palace with red walls and green tiles standing in front of it. Exactly, red walls and green tiles. After a door, the world changes. Clear breeze and ancient charm, the natural fairyland of Taoism. Yunxia Hall. Luya looked up and began to read. Upon closer examination, one can see the extraordinary mystery of the 3-character end, and an invisible aura of pressure rushes towards them. Upon seeing it, Luya's heart trembled and his face slightly changed. Senior brother, this character. Do you feel a sense of pressure coming? Yes, why do you feel this way? Junior brother is unaware that this hall was originally the residence of Grandmother Shi. At that time, in order to ensure safety, Grandmother Shi set up a restriction around this hall. This plaque also contains magic input, and ordinary cultivators cannot enter it. I see. Due to this reason, this hall has also become a testing ground for our senior brother's cultivation. Once this hall can be freely accessed, it indicates that their cultivation is at least above the realm of Dala. Junior brother Luya, my current cultivation is in the later stage of Tai Golden Immortal. Can you try it out and see if you can enter smoothly? At this moment, Luya's expression was serious, his whole body on guard, and he stepped forward. As soon as we arrived at the steps in front of the hall, the Cloud and Mist Hall plaque flashed with a red light, and a red lightning bolt shot towards Luya. Luya quickly exerted all his mana to resist, only to hear a clang sound. Luya couldn't help but retreat 5 or 6 steps back to stop. At this moment, Luya's face was solemn and surprised. I didn't expect a small plaque to have such power. Junior brother, are you okay? Xuanhe saw this and quickly asked with concern. Senior brother, I'm fine. I don't believe it, even this plaque can't pass. Lu Yin couldn't help but take a deep breath, readjust her mana, and move forward again. As soon as I stepped onto the steps, I saw another red lightning bolt shooting from the plaque. Luya quickly clasped his hands and exerted his full body magic again to resist. Zhaozuiyuan.com. In just an instant, Xuanhe saw Lu Yin gritting his teeth and his expression had become ugly. It can be seen that with the current cultivation level of junior brother Luya, he cannot resist it at all. Junior brother Luya, quickly retreat. Luya turned a deaf ear, as if unwilling to take a step back. At this point, Luya had already planned to use his own body to resist the attack of lightning. Xuanhe was shocked when he saw it, and he could see the intention behind the pressure from the land. He understood that if he didn't take action again, junior brother Luya would inevitably be seriously injured. Thinking of this, Xuanhe no longer hesitated and quickly used his finger to shoot a white light towards the lightning. With a loud bang, the land pressure was pushed back by the shockwave. Goodbye, Luya. His forehead was covered in sweat, indicating that he had done his best just now. Junior brother Luya, are you okay? Thank you very much for your help, senior brother. Luya understood that if it weren't for senior brother Xuanhe's timely help just now, he probably would have been injured quite a bit. Senior brother, this plaque is really impressive. Yes, it can be seen from this that the cultivation of Shizu back then is already evident. For the followers of Penglai, becoming a disciple of Penglai is a heartfelt pride. The leader of Lishan sect sometimes tells the legendary story of Shizu to everyone, because in the entire Penglai sect, the leader of Lishan sect is the person who has been with Shizu for the longest time. Every time I listen to it, it makes everyone's blood boil and they are fascinated. Junior brother, let's go. Let's enter the hall and take a look. As he spoke, Xuanhe pointed his finger again, and the lightning at the plaque suddenly dissipated. Upon seeing it, Lu Ye secretly swore that he would improve his cultivation as a good student in the future. When the vermilion door of the main hall opens, a refreshing fragrance wafts out leisurely. Good fragrance, what is this made of? Chapter 6. Phoenix Tail Feather Flower, True Fire of the Sun. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. De Co Lois Ara Trong Quatrin Lay Text. Chapter 7. 1 Palace and 9 Halls, Empty Cliff Treasure Pagoda. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, speaking of the disappearance of Lu Ye's original divine power, but I don't know why. This has become a knot in Lu Ye's heart, and it still cannot be dispelled to this day. Lu Ye didn't know that in fact, after losing this divine ability, he actually obtained the blessing of the heavenly way, which led to the future of the Xiaoyao Immortal. When Xuanhe heard that Lu Ye had lost this divine ability, his heart was filled with surprise. I think only Shizu can help to clarify this question. When he later met his mentor Shu Yuanqing, Xuanhe really asked Shu Yuanqing about this matter, which is a later story. Senior brother, how long have you been a disciple? It has been over 1,000 years. Upon hearing this, Lu Ye was secretly surprised, thinking that his senior brother had already joined the Penglai sect shortly after his birth. In a moment of surprise, I listened to Xuanhe's words, Junior brother, let's go. I'll take you to Yunxiao Hall to have a look. Upon leaving the Cloud and Mist Hall, a palace appeared not far away. Seeing it, green tiles, white eaves, and misty doors, red pine and golden lotus support the jade spring. Seeing it is like being in a cloud or mist. Unlike the Cloud and Mist Hall, there are 2 people standing at the entrance of the Cloud and Mist Hall, dressed in golden armor and holding green steel halberds, with a solemn expression. Seeing Xuanhe and Lu Ye approaching, he quickly respectfully raised his head. Lingyun and Lingkong pay their respects to senior brother Xuanhe. Who is this? This is a newly recruited disciple of the sect leader, named Lu Ye. Today, I brought him here to observe. So it's senior brother Lu Ye, please come inside. As soon as the words fell, I saw Lingyun and Lingkong's green steel halberd pointing, and the mist door in front of me slowly opened. At this moment, an invisible strong wind overflowed from inside, causing a mist to rise at the entrance, but no view of the palace was visible. Xuanhe pulled the landing hand and stepped into the main hall. Senior brother, why is there someone guarding this hall? Junior brother is not aware that not only this hall, but also the other 7 halls are guarded by disciples from Penglai. It is only because among the 9 halls, the Yunxia Hall is the most special. To enter the Yunxia Hall, one must have a certain level of cultivation, while the other 8 halls do not have this special feature. I understand now. Entering the main hall, the mist filled the air, and they couldn't see their fingers when reaching out. The 2 of them could only scatter their divine consciousness. Lu Ye released his divine sense and the interior of the hall was clear at a glance. The interior of this hall is simple and unadorned, with only one Tai Chi pattern on the walls and nothing else. Lu Ye saw it, his eyes full of confusion, and he glanced at the Xian River beside him. Senior brother, I didn't expect this hall to be empty. Junior brother, although this hall is simple and unadorned, its function is extremely great. This place can lead to the realm of Daoyuo heaven. Originally, the Tai Chi diagram on the palace wall was the gateway to the great Luo heaven. The realm of Daoyuo heaven. Senior brother, do you mean that this hall can directly reach Daoyuo heaven? Yes, that's right. Upon hearing this, Lu Ye's eyes were filled with surprise. For De Luo Tian, the land pressure is still clear. Since Shu Yuanqing certified the Chaos Sage and established the 36 heavenly heavens, all living beings in the wilderness know that the 36 heavenly heavens are called Dala Tian, which is the residence of the Chaos Sage. This heavenly heaven has become a forbidden land in the wilderness, and ordinary people are unable to enter. It is also unclear what the Great Luo Heaven looks like. Senior brother, have you ever been to the realm of Daoyuo Heaven? I was fortunate enough to have been there once. How is the scenery over there? Indescribable, unable to be described in words. Is there such beauty? Junior brother Luya, to be honest, the scenery of the Luo Tian is incomparable to the scenery of the vast wilderness. Its unique scenery is indescribable. After speaking, Xuanha's expression was as if he was deeply intoxicated. Luya saw it and was very curious. What kind of beautiful scenery in the world can make senior brother so intoxicated? This amazed Luya. Senior brother, may I have the opportunity to go to Dalao Heaven as well in the future? As long as they are disciples of Penglai, there will definitely be a chance. Really, senior brother, how could you deceive me? The main reason is that Penglai's sect was created by Shizu, and Shizu pays special attention to the members of Penglai's sect. Upon hearing this, Luya nodded, feeling secretly grateful for joining the Penglai sect. However, it was said that the two of them came out of the Yunxiao Hall and went to the Yunhan Hall, Yunling Hall, Yunyang Hall, Yunlei Hall, Yunxiu Hall, Yundan Hall, and Yunyan Hall, one after another. Each hall has its own characteristics, and with the introduction of Xuanha, Luya truly understood the layout of one palace and 9 halls on Penglai Island. What surprised Luya even more was that this palace and 9 halls were a formation called the 9 Sky God Thunder Formation, with Yunqing Palace as its eye. Luya couldn't help but sigh inwardly, the ability of his master is rare in the world. In the valleys and mountain streams of Penglai Island, there are multiple palaces where the senior uncles and a group of Penglai disciples reside. As for the 2 immortal islands of Fangzhong and Ningzhou, there are also multiple palaces, which are the residences of the Penglai followers. Xuanha brought landing pressure and went to the place where he used to meditate. It turned out to be in a bamboo forest. I saw the bamboo forest towering into the clouds, and the forest was shrouded in spiritual mist, silent and occasionally accompanied by the low chirping of spiritual birds. Walking on the stone path in the forest, the air is filled with a fresh breath, which makes people feel relaxed and happy, without any worries. At this moment, a gentle breeze struck, swaying bamboo shadows, mottled light and shadow, and emitting pleasant sounds. Under silent listening, one can hear the murmuring sound of flowing water in the stream. Senior brother, what a quiet place. This place hasn't been here for many years. Old friend, I'm coming back. As we reached the stream, we saw a reed canopy. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be made of green bamboo and wisteria. Mist rises around the reed canopy, with flowers competing for beauty and lush grass. Junior brother, this is the place where I meditate. Luya approached and saw that there was only a clump of reeds in the reed canopy, nothing else. I didn't expect senior brother's meditation place to be so rudimentary. A reed canopy and a cattail are enough. Everything else is just foreign, so cultivating oneself and enjoying oneself is in your heart. A good saying goes, self-cultivation and self-satisfaction are in my heart, and my junior brother laments that it's not as good as it is. Junior brother, you are not content with your own thoughts and feelings. The way to be carefree is to seek the heart without any worries. If the heart seeks something, there will be obstacles in your practice. Yes, what senior brother said is absolutely right, but junior brother, everything has a fixed number, and nothing can be forced. Remember your senior brother's teachings. After speaking, Lu Yin bent down and bowed to Xuanha, saying a salute. Junior brother, our shared understanding of this path indicates that our mutual blessings are profound. When I heard the words of Master Zhu, those who have come to understand this way will become a carefree immortal in the future, Xiaoyao Xian, Xiao Xian. Luya heard it and murmured to himself. In my own thoughts, Qingling should be the only demon in my heart to become a carefree immortal. If Qingling is not eliminated, my heart will not remain calm. I just want to eliminate Qingling, and the road ahead is still long. Junior brother, take a break here and take you to the empty cliff hall later. Thank you very much, senior brother. During their casual conversation, Luya finally realized that this hall was originally the place where senior brother Huaqing practiced. Xuanhe also told Luya that when he was building this hall, senior brother Huaqing put in a lot of effort. Junior brother, let's go to the empty cliff hall now. Good. After speaking, a auspicious cloud rose under their feet and drifted away. Zhaozuiyuan.com. In just an instant, the two of them arrived at a place, see you soon, cliffs and steep peaks, densely covered with shueluoteng. The pine-green walls are moist, and the cooling creek. The mountain grass and flowers are blooming, and apes are climbing and birds are singing. The palace is soaring in the sky, with a strange glow and mist. Senior brother, is this? That palace is exactly the empty cliff hall. Upon hearing this, Luya was greatly surprised. Originally, this hall was located between two cliffs, supported by vines below, and the palace was elevated to the ground. Under the palace, there is a stream of water flowing slowly, faintly visible, with fresh fish also appearing in the stream. Upon closer inspection, this palace has a square-shaped platform, with wind chimes hanging at each corner of the eaves, green tiles and red walls, and a plaque hanging at the front of the door, inscribed with the 3 red gold characters, Empty Cliff Hall. Senior brother, I didn't expect that the meditation center of senior brother Huaqing was built between 2 cliffs. Yes, junior brother Huaqing is full of ingenuity and even used the vines on both walls to build a palace. Such a wonderful technique is inferior to none of our senior brothers. Senior brother Huaqing is really talented. Junior brother, this will be your place of meditation in the future. Let's go in and take a look. No. The two of them arrived at the palace gate, and Xuanhe pointed his finger and said, "Open." As soon as the words fell, the palace gate opened in response, and a refreshing fragrance rushed towards me. It smells so good. Upon entering the main hall, one can see a rich spiritual mist, with a cattail in the center and an incense burner next to it. Cigarettes are swirling upwards. At the 4 corners of the main hall, there is a glass palace lamp hanging, constantly emitting yellow light. A few green bamboo trees were planted diagonally on the side, exuding an elegant aura. Senior brother Huaqing is so elegant and excited. Senior brother, where is senior brother Huaqing's dojo now? Kunlun Shuyuan Mountain Xuanlong Cave. Chapter 8. 3 Island Secrets, Immortal Fruit Spirit Root. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, as mentioned in the previous chapter, Xuanhe brought his junior brother Luya to the Konya Hall. Unexpectedly, the Konya Hall was built between 2 cliffs. I sighed inwardly. Senior brother Huaqing is really talented. Junior brother, this will be the place where Ru Jing cultivates from now on. Senior brother, can you introduce me to the 7 senior uncles? The 7 teachers are my teacher, your master uncle Bai Xian, White Crane Immortal, residing in Cliff Hall, second master uncle Qingyu Immortal, residing in Qingfeng Hall, third master uncle Qifeng, Red Tiger Immortal, residing in Qihua Hall, 4th Master Uncle Jiukong, 9 Kong Immortal, residing in Kongyun Hall, 5th Master Uncle Baiju, White Lion Immortal, residing in Qinguang Hall, 6th Master Uncle Jiulong, 9 Dragon Immortal, residing in Yunguang Hall, and 7th Master Uncle Yunzhong, residing in the Luo Tian. Among them, the 7th Master Uncle Yunzhong is the most special, always residing in the Luo Tian. Jing. I once heard a teacher say that Uncle Qi has a deep fortune and is also a carefree immortal. All 7 teachers are disciples passed down by their ancestors, and their cultivation is already in the quasi-holy realm. Senior brother, what is the origin of 7th senior uncle? Junior brother, I don't know. That 7th senior uncle was a great and powerful person in his past life. He once listened to the teachings of Xiao Palace with his master, and his seniority was extremely high. He was also considered a brother to his master. However, he was later killed by a traitor and even reincarnated. Later, he was accepted as a disciple by his master. So Uncle 7 still has such an experience. That's right. Junior brother, I'll take you on a trip to the other 2 islands, Abbot and Yunxia Island. Senior brother, when I was living in the demon court, I heard of the Abbot Island. Is that the Dao field of the Donghua Emperor? My junior brother's words are right. The Abbot Island was the dojo of the Donghua Emperor, who was the leader of the male immortals in the past. However, it was later executed. Since then, this island has been abandoned and later occupied by our Penglai tribe. Unexpectedly, not far from this island, another immortal island named Yunxia Island has been discovered. In order to prevent the 2 islands from being abandoned, the sect leader arranged for a group of Penglai sect members to live here. In fact, there is a secret hidden in the 3 islands that outsiders cannot know. What secret is it? Upon hearing this, Luya was full of curiosity and stared closely at Xuanhe, asking. You are now a disciple of Penglai, and this secret can also be known. Back then, Shizu set up a postnatal formation called the 5 Elements and 3 Talents formation, at the 3 islands. Once a non-Penglai disciple enters, they will be at risk of death. The great formation of 5 Elements and 3 Talents. This formation is unheard of. Senior brother, what is the great formation of 5 Elements and 3 Talents? Shizu is truly a great talent. He combined the 5 elements with the chi of heaven, earth, and man, and the 3 talents, based on the terrain of the 3 islands. This formation is composed of formations that are connected and have great power. I have heard the teacher say that once activated, this formation can disturb the heaven and earth, twist the time and space of the heavens, evolve the mysteries of the heavenly Tao, and refine the earth fire of the void. Its ultimate power is extraordinary and beyond words. Upon hearing these words, Luya was instantly stunned. Just. Senior brother, what is it? I just don't know what treasure its array is. I once asked the teacher, but he refused to speak up. It's very mysterious. After speaking, Xuanhe had a helpless expression on his face. Upon hearing this, Luya felt a ripple in his heart, because according to his senior brother, the power of this formation is very much like a precious treasure. However, after a witch war, the whereabouts of this treasure are unknown. Is this treasure actually here? Actually, Luya guessed well. The eye of this formation is the chaos clock, the innate treasure of the Honghuang. After Tai self-destructed and fell, the chaos clock was acquired by Shu Yuanqing. When he deployed this formation, he felt that its power was not enough and directly used the chaos clock as the eye of the formation. When Tai reached the peak of his personal cultivation, he could not completely refine this treasure, only because of the calculation of the heavenly way. After Tai self-destructed and fell, the chaos clock instantly became an ownerless object. After being obtained by Shu Yuanqing, it was quickly refined by him. With the blessing of the Chaos Saint's magical power, this treasure can only exert its original power. This formation cannot be broken by the alliance of the 2 saints of the Honghuang. Seeing this, Luya can only bury his doubts deep in his heart and not raise them. Now in the entire wilderness, except for a few great sages and the people of Penglai, everyone knows where the chaos bell is. Even if the great sages know, they dare not speak casually. As time goes by, the chaotic clock has gradually become a great legend in the wilderness, which will be discussed later. Speaking of which, the Xuanhe River and the land pressure successively visited the entire Penglai Immortal Island and visited 6 senior uncles. Bai Xian and others understood that although Luya was the son of Emperor Jun, he was born with a deep fortune and had an unlimited future. After instructing Lu Yin a few words, they each entered their own practice without mentioning it. Then, Lu Ye and Xian He went to the Qilin Hall to pay their respects to the water Qilin. Lu Ye learned about the unique identity of the water Qilin from the Xuanhe River. He is not only the mount of his master, but also the husband of the sect leader. In the Penglai religion, he belongs to the role of deputy leader, but he has never acknowledged it. Shui Qilin told Lu Ye that as a disciple of Penglai, cultivation is secondary, and virtue is the most important. He also told Lu Ye that sometimes he should learn to let go and not force too much. Upon hearing this, Lu Ye's eyes were filled with confusion, not understanding why he said so. But he understood that Shui Qilin's words must have a profound meaning, so he bowed and thanked him without mentioning it. Upon leaving the Qilin Hall, Lu Ye was about to leave when he saw an ancient tree next to it. It is about 30 to 40 zhang high, with leaves divided in half and trees divided into 3 branches. There are blood-red fruits hanging on the branches, looking up like red lanterns shining brightly. Upon closer examination, this fruit still has a faint halo, which makes one's intuition extraordinary. Senior brother, what fruit is that? This is a treasure of Penglai, named Qilin blood fruit. It blooms every 500 years and bears fruit every 500 years. The fruit ripens after 500 years and can bear 180 fruits per tree. Since the collapse of Mount Buzhou, there is only one plant in the entire wasteland, which is very precious. This fruit is blood-red throughout the body, and eating it for those below the 9 heavens Xianshan cultivation level can also improve their cultivation. In addition, this tree grows next to the Qilin Hall, so it is called Qilin blood fruit. I didn't expect this fruit to have such a miraculous effect. Lu Yin knew very well that looking at the entire wilderness, there were only a few who could improve their cultivation by consuming immortal fruits. It's a pity that this fruit did not enter the top 10 spiritual roots of the wilderness. Anyone who can enter the 10 great spiritual roots of the wilderness is of the highest quality. This result is still far from satisfactory, but it cannot be denied that it is also the ears of the wilderness spiritual roots. By the way, when it comes to this, I still need to take you to a place. Where? Yunqing Palace. Along the way, Xuanhe told Lu Ye that Shui Qilin was particularly low-key, and there were rumors that his strength was not inferior to that of the sect leader, and may even be higher than that of the sect leader. Upon hearing his words, Lu Ye's heart was filled with surprise. Suddenly, I remembered my former father, the king, and uncle, which seemed to be their relationship. Uncle Dong Huangtai is recognized as the first person in cultivation and strength by the demon court, while his father, Emperor Jun, is indeed the true leader of the demon court. During their conversation, the two of them came to the gate of Yunqing Palace again. Lu Yaxin was puzzled and didn't understand why senior brother brought him here again. Junior brother, I brought you here to show you the spiritual roots again. Upon hearing this, Lu Ye looked surprised. Senior brother, is there actually a spiritual root here? That's right. Junior brother, you may not know that Penglai Immortal Island can be considered the top treasure in the East China Sea, with countless immortal fruits, flowers, and spiritual roots. The top 10 spiritual roots in the wilderness, Huang Zhongli, comes from here, and there is also the top-notch innate spiritual treasure, the pure world white lotus. Due to the uniqueness of this island and its abundant innate spiritual energy, Shizu used it as a place for cultivation. Upon hearing this, Lu Ye was greatly shocked. Xuanhe brought landing pressure and walked along the palace wall, passing through a 1,000-year-old pine tree. He pointed to the ancient tree that scattered golden light not far away and said, "The glowing tree is a spiritual root." Lu Yen followed Xuanhe's fingers and saw a golden tree about 20 zhang high growing by the palace wall. This tree looks golden, I don't know why. Senior brother, is this? This tree is called the golden snake blue date tree. This name is so strange. Junior brother, you can come closer and observe. After hearing this, Lu Ye quickly walked forward and arrived at the foot of the tree. Looking up, I saw that under the sunlight, the branches of the tree were like golden snakes winding around the tree. Upon closer examination, it turns out that there is a layer of yellow-brown tree scales on the surface of this tree, piled up in patches and winding upwards. If you don't look carefully, it's like shining golden light. At this moment, there were no leaves on the tree, but it was filled with green dates. This tree blooms every 300 years, bears fruit every 300 years, and matures after 900 years. It can bear 150 fruits per tree. Those with a cultivation level below that of the golden immortal can improve their cultivation by eating it. When it first bears fruit, the tree is covered with green leaves, and the fruit is golden yellow and bitter. When it reaches maturity, the leaves turn yellow and fall to the ground. The fruit turns green again, with 3 yellow center marks on the surface, which are sweet to eat. Therefore, it is called the golden snake blue date. After listening, Luya lowered his head and saw that there were still remnants of leaves on the ground. The leaves are as big as palms, with 5 forked fingers and a curled head and protruding abdomen. Senior brother, why has it matured for 900 years? And when it matures, it turns green, which is truly unheard of. As the sect leader has said, this tree belongs to the postnatal spiritual root, which is nourished by the innate spiritual energy of this place and secretly corresponds to the number of heaven and earth. Therefore, it is the best of the postnatal spiritual roots. There are 2 trees in total, one here and the other in the realm of Daoyo heaven, which is also a treasure of Penglai. Upon hearing this, Luya suddenly realized and couldn't help but secretly sigh at the extraordinary nature of Penglai Immortal Island. Junior brother, do you want to taste one? Is that okay? At this moment, Lu Jian was surprised to find that the 2 spiritual roots were left unattended. Senior brother, why is there no one guarding Qingling blood fruit and golden snake blue date? Within the 3 islands of Penglai, all of them are disciples of Penglai and are protected by a large formation. No one dares to invade them. Moreover, as disciples of Penglai, if there is no report, no one dares to eat them without authorization. Do we still need to report it? Yes, where is Penglai boy? As soon as they finished speaking, a boy appeared before their eyes. Lu Yaji knew that he was the boy he had seen at the entrance of Yunqing Palace before. At this moment, the Penglai boy bent down and saluted, "Have you met senior brother Xuanhe? Do you have any instructions, senior brother? We both want to eat 2 golden snakes and blue dates." Noah, let junior brother Roan record it. After speaking, the Penglai boy took out the jade plaque he carried with him and waved it with his hand, saying, "Senior brother Xuanhe, I have already remembered it and can take 2. Thank you very much." After speaking, he pointed his finger and 2 white lights shot out from his fingertips. 2 blue dates fell into Xianhe's hand in response. Junior brother, you can taste it. Lu Yin took the blue jujube from Xuanhe's hand, held it in his hand, and carefully examined it. As you can see, the entire body of the jujube is emerald green, the size of a thumb, and there are indeed 3 yellow center marks on the surface. Upon closer inspection, a faint fragrance of orchids shot into the heart and spleen, leaving one feeling refreshed. Junior brother, you can eat it quickly. Just then, Xuanhe had already stuffed the blue dates into his mouth and started chewing them to his heart's content. Upon seeing it, Luya picked up the green jujube and took a light bite without chewing, feeling a sweet sensation entering his throat. Chew gently, juicy and tender, leaving a lingering fragrance on the mouth. As soon as I entered my abdomen, I felt a strong spiritual energy swimming throughout my body, but in the end, it became invisible. Luya understood that with his current cultivation level, tasting this fruit can only satisfy his desire to wrap his stomach. Thank you, senior brother. Today, let me taste this green jujube spirit root. After speaking, Lu Yin bent down and bowed to the Xian River. Junior brother is exempt. Chapter 9. Abbot Immortal Island, Red Fire Giant Tree. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, speaking of which, after tasting the golden snake and blue dates in the Xuanhe belt, the two of them went straight to a place. Luya looked up and saw the three golden characters, Abbot Hall, standing out. There were two people standing at the door, and when they saw Xuanhe approaching, they quickly bowed and saluted, saying, Yunshan and Yunshui pay their respects to senior brother Xuanhe. Free of charge, let me introduce you to you. This is a newly recruited disciple of the sect leader, Luya. Upon hearing this, the two of them were stunned and quickly respectfully saluted their heads. Yunshan and Yunshui have met senior brother Luya. Free of charge. Thank you very much, senior brother. Yunshan, I want to take junior brother Luya to Fangzhong Island to familiarize myself. I will strictly abide by senior brother's decree. After speaking, the two of them clasped their palms together and saw a stream of light shooting out. In an instant, the palace door had slowly opened. Two senior brothers, please. At this moment, Xuanhe pulled the landing pressure hand and entered the main hall. Senior brother, can this hall lead directly to the Abbot Island? Yes, that's right. Upon hearing it, Luya suddenly realized. It's no wonder it's named the Abbot Hall, thinking for itself. As soon as I entered the main hall, I saw it empty, with only a Tai Chi pattern on the wall. The layout of this hall is very similar to the Cloud Sky Hall that I have visited before. Luya understands that the passage is set in this pattern. I saw Xuanhe standing in front of the Tai Chi pattern, extending his finger and a white light shooting out from his fingertips. Just then, the Tai Chi pattern suddenly emitted a dazzling light, and the yin-yang fish eyes quickly rotated. In just an instant, a spatial tunnel appeared in front of both of them. Upon seeing it, Xuanhe turned his eyes and whispered to Lu, junior brother, let's go. After speaking, the two figures had disappeared into the tunnel. In the blink of an eye, Luya's intuition revealed that the environment in front of him had changed in vain. He fixed his gaze on it. See you soon. The clouds are misty as the clouds fall into the sky. The mist of apricots condenses, and the pine trees shine brightly. Qingling is hidden in the clouds, and the white crane cliff stream appears. The fragrant grass emits a clear fragrance, and the fragrance creates ripples. Upon seeing it, Luya couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. Junior brother, we are already on Fangzhong Island. Senior brother, the scenery of this island is also extraordinary. Junior brother, don't be reluctant to leave then. By the way, I'll take you to a place first. Where? I'll know once I go. After speaking, two people each raised an auspicious cloud under their feet and headed towards the heart of the island. In a moment, a magnificent palace appeared before the two of them. But see, the glass palace tower is high in the sky, with a canopy of flying eaves and a crown of beauty. Yaotai Qianglu is golden and emerald, and a group of immortals dance gracefully to lock the mist. Senior brother, what a majestic palace. Junior brother, you may not know that this was the palace of the Donghua Emperor back then, but now you can still glimpse the former prosperity. Luya looked quietly at the palace in front of him, sighing inwardly that time flies and things change. He knew that the Donghua Emperor was the head of the Honghuang male immortal appointed by the Daoist ancestors. Back then, it was the father and uncle who led a large army of demon tribes and executed the emperor here, causing him to self-destruct and fall to death. Shortly after this incident, the Queen Mother announced it to all the Golden Crows. Luya vaguely remembers that at that time, all the Golden Crows were overjoyed when they heard it. I just didn't expect that my father and uncle would also end up with self-destructions. There is a fixed number in the world, and the heavenly way circulates. Seeing that Luya's expression was different, Xuanhe quickly asked, Junior brother, are you okay? I'm fine, I just have infinite emotions in my heart. Senior brother, I remember the theory of causal cycle that you once said. Do you have any new insights about this? Yes, all things in the world have a fixed number. However, the cycle of cause and effect, like the principles of nature, has always existed in all things. There must be many good causes, few evil consequences, few disputes, and few killings. Only then can one live freely and live without shame. After speaking, Lu Yin's whole body emitted a faint golden light. In an instant, his cultivation reached the level of Tai Yi Jin Xian de Yuan Man, just one step away from the Luo. Xuanhe saw it and his face was filled with joy. Congratulations to junior brother, your cultivation has greatly improved. Upon hearing this, Lu Ye quickly checked his spiritual consciousness and saw that his cultivation had reached the level of Tai Yi Jin Xian de Yuan Man. His eyes couldn't help but feel excited. Thank you very much, senior brother. This time of enlightenment, I also need to thank senior brother for his great journey back then. No, these are all outstanding insights from my junior brother. Moreover, it is fortunate for me to have such insights from the vastness of life. After Xuanhe learned about the identity of Lu Ye, he still had a layer of concern in his heart, whether Lu Ye would be like his father, engaging in killings, ambitious, and eager to dominate. As a member of the human race, Xuanhe witnessed with his own eyes the scene of the demon court bloodwashing the human race, and that bloody scene is still vividly remembered today. In order to wield a witch-slaying sword, the demon court committed boundless crimes against the human race. This kind of cause and effect requires countless descendants of the demon race to repay. When he saw Emperor Jun and Tai self-destruct and fall, Xuanhe clapped and cheered. Sighing inwardly, the heavenly way is supreme, and the heavenly way is also supreme. Since coming into contact with Lu Ye, Xuanhe can deeply feel that Lu Ye's nature is very kind. From following the human race Fushi in being willing to selflessly contribute to the human race, one can glimpse a little. Moreover, as the master once said, Lu Yafu has a deep fortune and is a carefree immortal, which can also prove it. Junior brother, you are only one step away from the realm of Dala. I believe that before returning to the human tribe, you will inevitably enter the realm of Dala. Really? Of course it's true. The leader's ability is beyond your imagination. Upon hearing this, Lu Yin felt a hint of curiosity in his heart. Lu Ye discovered that Fangzhang Island has a radius of thousands of miles, and although it cannot compare to Penglai Xiandao for its unique scenery, it is also a stunning destination. Xuanhe told Lu Ye that there is a volcano on this island called Fengming Mountain, which is said to have been generated by the emperor's self-explosion in the past. At the full moon, 100 phoenixes gather around, and the sound of fear is constant, hence the name. Even more miraculously, the group phoenixes would collectively bow to the moon. At first, the members of the Penglai sect felt that this scene was very eerie and ominous. The leader told everyone that the reason for such a strange appearance was because on the night of the full moon, the qi of the yin was the strongest. The colorful phoenix here is constantly influenced by volcanoes, accumulating a large amount of extremely young qi in its body, making it extremely uncomfortable. Only by harmonizing the energy from the full moon to yin can one feel comfortable, and kneeling down is a sign of gratitude. Fengming Mountain also has a unique feature. Whenever lava erupts, it carries a large number of gemstones and gives rise to waves of spiritual mist, which is extraordinary. Unexpectedly, a gemstone mountain formed next to the volcano after years of accumulation. Seeing it, it shines brightly and shines brightly. Due to the condensation of spiritual fog, a giant wudong tree grew on the mountain, but it became the best place for Phoenix to live. Upon hearing this, Lu Ye became curious. Senior brother, when I was in the human race, I also saw a plant with my co-leader Fushi, but it has now turned into a Fushi Qin. Therefore, Lu Yi told Xuanhe in detail about the discovery of the wudong tree by the two people and its transformation into Fushi Qin. Upon hearing it, Xuanhe was amazed. Junior brother, let's go. Senior brother, where are you going? Go and see the wudong tree here. After speaking, the two figures had disappeared into place. When it reappeared, Lu Yin was stunned by the scene before him. I saw a red fire giant tree standing in front of me, over 100 zhang high. Senior brother, is this Younger martial brother, this is the giant Wudong tree. Luya looked up and saw the huge crown piercing into the clouds. What a towering tree! Upon seeing it, Luya couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. Junior brother, listen. Listen carefully, and the sound of gunshots keeps coming from the tree canopy, very pleasing to the ear. Junior brother, let's go. After speaking, Xuanhe pulled the hand of landing pressure, and his figure had risen above the giant crown. Upon closer inspection, one can see the colorful wings fainting in Yunqing, layer upon layer, and the sound of gunshots echoing one after another. Really, the red-tongued tree rises high into the sky, and the 100 phoenixes dance lightly and sing freely. Upon seeing it, Luya was secretly shocked. It turned out that the number he had just observed far exceeded 100. Senior brother, why are there so many colorful phoenixes here? I don't think this island is 100 phoenixes, but 1,000 phoenixes, which can be called Qianfeng Island. Qianfeng Island. It's very well proportioned. Junior brother, I don't know anything about it. Look for the book garden www.zhaosuiyuan.com. Initially, there were very few colorful phoenixes in this area, so the island had its natural enemies. Luya understands that all things in the wilderness have a way of mutual generation and restraint. The nemesis of the phoenix is the dragon in the sea. Therefore, phoenixes generally dare not fly freely over the sea. Originally, after arriving on this island, the members of the Penglai sect found that the colorful phoenixes on the island were often invaded by dragons, and their situation was very miserable. There are many lakes on the island that lead directly to the sea, and dragons often appear in the lakes. The leader of the Lishan sect believed that the colorful phoenix was an auspicious bird, so he ordered the members of the Penglai sect to drive away all the dragons on the island and seal various lakes with magic, so that there were no more dragons on the island. Without natural enemies, for thousands of years, the number of colorful phoenixes on Fangzhong Island has increased dramatically, forming its current scale. At this moment, the sun rises high, and the land pressure feels dazzling rays rising from under their feet, hidden in the sky. He quickly lowered his head and exclaimed in surprise. Senior brother, come and see. At this moment, Luya saw the towering mountain under his feet, with mist rising and shining brightly. The entire mountain, under the sunlight, is emitting a dazzling light, soaring straight into the sky. Luya saw it with a stunned expression. Junior brother, how is the scenery of this mountain? It is magnificent and breathtaking. Upon hearing this, Luya couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. Junior brother, the gemstone of this mountain is also an excellent material for refining weapons. Previously, most of the treasures and weapons of the Penglai sect were forged by Shu Yuanqing. After he proved to be the Sage of Chaos, he passed on the forging method to the Qilin. The official is unaware that forging magical weapons requires countless heavenly and earthly treasures. After forming a gemstone mountain here, the Water Qilin discovered that the gemstones here were actually excellent materials for forging magic treasures. Chapter 10. Lin Xia gives treasures, Qingling Daojing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push. After visiting Fangzhong Island with land pressure in Xuanhe, they successively went to Yingzhou Island. This island has a radius of 4,000 miles, with steep cliffs and auspicious flowers and yao grass. There is a towering jade mountain on the island, named Qingyugao Mountain. The jade from this mountain is also an excellent material for refining weapons. There is also a clear spring in the mountains, named Yuchuan. This spring, however, has a history, originally caused by the dragon veins of Huagua Mountain diving into the East China Sea and extending. There are many branches of this dragon vein, including the East China Sea Golden Turtle Island, Sanxian Island, and so on. At the 3 islands of Penglai, there is actually the dragon head of this dragon vein, among which Penglai Island is the dragon eye, Fangzhong Island is the dragon nose, and Yingzhou Island is the dragon mouth. Therefore, innate spiritual energy can continuously gush out of the island, rise when cold, and condense into a spring. It's easy to understand why there is a volcano on Fangzhong Island. It is the fierce energy of the dragon veins that is expelled from the nostrils. But it is said that this spring is crystal clear and clean. Taste it like pure wine, sweet and delicious. Drinking it regularly can prolong life. Xuanhe told Luya that since the Third Penglai Immortal Association first used this spring as a precious jade liquid, it will be used as the designated jade liquid for future fairies. Luya took a special sip and suddenly felt cool and refreshing, incredibly sweet. Senior brother, it's really a good spring. It's just 200 years from the next fairy fair. Xuanhe bent his fingers and calculated, pressing his words against Lu. The Penglai Immortal Association, advocated by our ancestors, is held every 1,000 years. It is the grandest festival of the Penglai sect, and any member of the Penglai sect, regardless of their location, must unconditionally return to participate at the time of the event. Therefore, every time an immortal association is held, the grandeur of the scene, the grandeur of the scale, and the completeness of the personnel are incomparable to ordinary immortal associations. Upon hearing it, Luya was mesmerized. Xuanhe also told the land pressure that when looking down at the three islands from high altitude, they are distributed in a pin-shaped pattern. Yunxia and the Abbot are separated by 90,000 miles, guarding Penglai Island together, and the three islands are also hidden among the three talents. After visiting Yunxia Island, the two of them returned to Penglai. Xuanhe went to the residence of his teacher, Baihe, and reported to him without mentioning it. According to the calculation, it took over a year for Xuanhe to complete the landing pressure swim across the three islands. Along the way, Xuanhe explained in detail to Luya the development process of the sect, the size of the congregation, and the current distribution of the congregation. After hearing this, Luya's heart was deeply moved. The current members of the Penglai cult are distributed in all continents except for Beiju Luzhou, and their influence can be considered as the number one among the Honghuang cults. But due to the strict discipline of the sect leader, except for a few scattered immortals, other disciples cannot easily appear in the world, and it is also stipulated that no new disciples will be accepted. Therefore, in the vast world, information about Penglai religion is rarely heard. Penglai sect has now become the most mysterious existence in the vast world, with a legendary color. Luya became the last disciple of the Penglai sect. In later generations, his senior brother Du Yi took Li Jing from Qintang Pass as his disciple, but he was actually just a named disciple. Later, Li Jing became a disciple of the Randang sect. This is a later story and will not be disclosed for the time being. Speaking of which, Luya returned to Yunqing Palace and made a special report to the teacher. As soon as I entered the main hall, I saw my teacher Lin Xia sitting alone in Putuan with her eyes closed, as if waiting for Luya to come. Upon seeing it, he quickly bowed respectfully and bowed, saying, "Disciple Luya, pay respects to the teacher, and may the teacher live a long and boundless life." Upon hearing this, Lin Xia slowly opened her eyes and looked at the young man in front of her. Conscious of the scene of resisting the demon court in the human race appears unintentionally. But Lin Xia understood in her heart that although the young man in front of her was the son of Emperor Jun, his nature was pure and kind, unlike Emperor Jun who, without reason, embarked on a killing journey. In this year, Xuanhe took you on a tour of the three islands of Penglai. What are your insights? I deeply feel that being able to join the Penglai sect is a disciple's creation. Upon hearing this, Lin Xia nodded. Next, you should meditate and improve your cultivation. I see that your current cultivation is in the realm of Tai Golden Immortal's great perfection, only one step away from Dala. Teacher, before returning to the human tribe, can a disciple's cultivation enter the Dalai Lama? Anything is possible. I understand. Every 10 years, I and the Water Qilin will preach here for 1 year, and in the future, you can also come and listen to it. Thank you very much, teacher. Where is Penglai boy? The disciple is here. What instructions does the leader have? Take my Qingyun sword. I obey your orders. Upon hearing this, Lu Ya's heart was filled with ecstasy, and he thought to himself, is it a teacher? In just a moment, the Penglai boy came with a sword in both hands. You were on the top of Mount Taishan that day. When you were apprentice, I didn't give you any treasure. Today I will give you this blue cloud sword. This sword is 7 feet and 7 inches long. It can be used to defend the sword, but it can also be changed for no reason. It is a congenital junior spirit treasure. Thank you very much for your kindness, teacher. Lu Yin took the sword and felt his hand sink. Upon closer inspection, there is also a sword scabbard with the words Qingyun on it. It is visible all over, with a red flame and 7 gemstones embedded on its surface, shining brightly. This scabbard is made from the 1,000-year-old wudong bark. Upon hearing this, Lu Ya suddenly realized and thought to himself, no wonder his color seemed a bit familiar. Those 7 gemstones must be products of the Abbot's stone mountain. At this moment, Lin Xia's slender hand pointed and a white light shot into Lu Ya Yuanshan. Lu Ya was taken aback for a moment, and quickly checked his spiritual consciousness. He saw that there was an additional set of cultivation techniques in the sea. Teacher, is this? This is the cultivation technique of our Penglai sect. You can understand it well. Thank you very much, teacher. Originally, after Lin Xia succeeded as the leader of Penglai sect, she spent 1,000 years together with Shui Qilin to create this set of cultivation techniques for Penglai sect members, named Qingling Daojing. This cultivation method is divided into 5 levels, named Dao, Fa, Shu, Qi, and Shi, corresponding to the 9 heavenly Xian Immortals, Jin Immortals, Tai Yi Jin Immortals, the Luo Jin Immortals, and Quasi-Holy Realms. Each level of cultivation is infused with the two people's understanding of the Tao, which includes various divine powers, Taoist techniques, and techniques for transformation, as well as techniques for refining and calculating. During this period, Shu Yuanqing also provided a lot of guidance and advice. After the completion of the martial arts, Shu Yuanqing learned from the abilities of later generations and made a preface specifically for it, highly evaluating the significance of its existence. Lin Xia also made strict regulations on it, prohibiting the transmission of martial arts to outsiders, and violators will be severely punished. Go ahead, I'll appreciate it. I'm leaving, disciple. When Lu Ya withdrew from the main hall, he saw Xuanhe waiting outside for a long time. Junior brother, is this? This is a precious sword personally bestowed by the teacher, named Qingyun sword. Upon hearing this, Xuanhe was greatly surprised. Junior brother, it's good luck. What does this mean? Junior brother, you are not aware of this. The sect leader has 2 precious swords to protect him, one is the Qinglu sword and the other is the Qingyun sword. This sword can reach the level of an innate junior spiritual treasure, and is indeed a good treasure. I envy you so much, but the sect leader truly loves you. I see. Upon hearing this, Lu Ya was instantly moved and unconsciously bowed to the palace entrance. Junior brother, you must refine this sword well. Lu Yin understands. Senior brother, the teacher also passed on my Qingling Daojing. This technique is a unique one of our Penglai teachings. With my junior brother's understanding, future achievements will surely surpass my senior brother's. Senior brother, why say this? With your current achievements, it will be difficult for me, Lu Ya, to match. We are both humble now. Junior brother, I came to bid farewell to you, and I will return to Qingfeng Ridge. From now on, you will meditate and comprehend in the empty cliff hall. Senior brother, are you leaving so soon? Yes, there is no banquet that never ends in the world. At the Penglai Immortal meeting, we will gather together. We won't be drunk and won't return. Okay, don't come back until you're drunk. Senior brother, take care. Junior brother, it's also important to take good care of oneself. I'll go for my brother. As soon as the words fell, a auspicious cloud rose from under the Xuanhe River and headed towards the distance. In just an instant, the figure of Xuanhe had disappeared from Lu Ya's sight. Lu Yuang was lost in thought, let out a light sigh, and his figure disappeared into place. In an instant, Lu Ya's figure appeared in the Sky Cliff Hall. Sitting on the futon, Lu Yin took out the sword personally bestowed by the teacher. Pulling out the scabbard, in an instant, a cold light suddenly appeared. The sword was shining brightly, and upon closer inspection, there was even a flickering stream of light. With a sweep of divine consciousness, there is a mark in the sea of consciousness indicating that the Qingyun sword, with 26 prohibitions, is an innate junior spiritual treasure. I couldn't help but sigh inwardly, a good sword. Lu Ya understood that refining this sword was the top priority, and then he studied the Qingling Daojing. Thinking of this, Lu Ya closed his eyes, his mind returned to one, and he instantly entered a state of meditation. Speaking of which, every move of Lu Yaji was noticed by Lin Xia. While enjoying a leisurely tour of the 3 islands of Penglai, Lu Ya and Xianhe, Lin Xia and Shui Qilin went on a special trip to Daoyu Ocean. From Shu Yuanqing's side, Lin Xia learned all about the situation of land pressure. Zhaoshuyuan.com. When Shu Yuanqing told Lin Xia that one of the treasures hidden on Lu Ya's body could actually block the aura of the heavenly way. Lin Xia's face was full of disbelief and she exclaimed against the sky. This can also be seen from the side that the land pressure and fortune are deeply intertwined. Lin Xia also learned from Shu Yuanqing what the Xianshan flying dagger and the Dingtu 7 arrows book were. When Shu Yuanqing revealed these 2 treasures, Lin Xia and Shui Qilin looked at each other, unheard of. After Shu Yuanqing finished talking about the power of the 2 treasures, Lin Xia felt a chill in her back, especially the immortal slaying throwing dagger, which was too rebellious. Anyone below the level of quasi-saint cultivation could be killed by this item, and it could be crossed over to kill. Fortunately, Lu Ya has a pure and kind heart, and is not indiscriminately killing innocent people. Otherwise, if this thing is obtained by someone with ulterior motives, it will probably cause another bloody storm in the future. Shu Yuanqing also spoke with Lin Xia, saying that Lu Ya is not like Xuanhe, and his cultivation is relatively smooth. His cultivation requires many hardships. Although he is a carefree immortal, the twists and turns of this path cannot be compared to Xuanhe. He also told Lin Xia that there will be turbulence in the future demon and immortal realm, and all the saints will not intervene. Lu Ya still has a mission to complete. Once Lu Ya encounters danger in the world, it is only a last resort that the 2 cannot intervene. Upon hearing this, Lin Xia was very curious and quickly asked what would happen in the future. What is the mission of land pressure? Shu Yuanqing used the pretext that the secret of heaven could not be leaked and instructed Lin Xia to restrain the followers in case of any unforeseen circumstances. In fact, for the heavenly way, this phrase has already revealed the truth. But Shu Yuanqing understood that although he was a sage of chaos, he could not reveal too much about the mysteries of heaven. Out of selfishness, I couldn't help but give an early warning to Lin Xia and the others. In this regard, the heavenly way is also helpless.